Today we're going to be discussing a truly inspirational and heartwarming story. Noa Argamani has finally been reunited with her lover Avinatan after he was released by Palestinian terrorists in the recent ceasefire deal. Noa waited for 2 years to be reunited with her boyfriend, showcasing nothing but class and dignity the entire time. Or did she? Let's backtrack a little. Noa Argamani was ruthlessly abducted by terrorists on October 7th while at a drug-fueled music festival of ethno-supremacist hippies right outside a concentration camp, and spent months as a prisoner of war in Gaza. She was nearly killed several times by Israeli bombings and even had to be dug out of the rubble by her guards after Israel attacked her location. She filmed a video condemning Netanyahu for keeping the genocide going instead of just simply negotiating to release the hostages. But she was eventually freed by Israeli commandos who bombed an entire neighborhood, massacring anywhere between 100 to 500 civilians in the summer of 2024. When Noa was released, Zionist propagandists began amplifying her relationship with her boyfriend Avinatan, who was still being held in Gaza. Zionists presented this relationship between them as some sort of Romeo and Juliet, a heartbreaking tragedy of lovers torn apart by terrorists. After being released, Noa did the rounds, meeting with celebrities and politicians, advocating for the release of the remaining hostages, including her lover, Avinatan. But not long after her release, Noa returned to drug-fueled music raves clad in a yellow bikini, tits bouncing up and down with her ass on a man's shoulder as she danced with another man. So the whole Romeo and Juliet lover story is sort of bullshit. In a photo released by Israeli media, we see the moment the two were reunited. I'm imagining their conversation.
Oh baby, you are all I could think about during my captivity. I was just hoping and praying for us to be reunited so we could be together again forever. How about you?
Yeah, me too.
Really?
No, I've been getting smashed.
It should be noted that Noa Argamani and her boyfriend Avinatan both served in the IDF. Noa served in the Navy, and Avinatan was part of an elite special ops group, which is why he was one of the last prisoners of war to be released by the resistance. The media has been celebrating their release the way they have been celebrating the release of all the Israeli prisoners of war, as if these Israelis were just innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. But the dark truth is that Noa Argamani, Avinatan, and all other Israelis are not only colonizing settlers living on someone else's land, but also active participants in the genocidal machine of ethno-supremacy and apartheid. On July 16, 2014, Israeli naval forces fired 3 missiles that killed 4 boys while they were playing football on Gaza City's fishing beach. 6 other Palestinian civilians were also wounded, among them 4 children from the same extended family. Noa Argamani served in this navy. Her lover, Avinatan, served in the special ops groups that wear disguises and enter hospitals where they murder patients in their beds. It doesn't matter if you're just a secretary doing non-combative desk work in the IDF like Ethan Klein's wife, Hila. All Jewish Israelis are mandated to serve in the genocidal army that actively occupies stolen land, builds settlements on top of them, steals resources like water and food, builds checkpoints, prisons, and apartheid walls, kidnaps, tortures, and murders children, and uses violence to suppress the resistance of the indigenous forces who actually have the legal right to use force to resist the monstrosity that is Israel. Meanwhile, Palestinian hostages are completely ignored by the media, despite them numbering in the thousands, from children as young as 12 to elderly men and women serving life in prison, where they are raped, starved, and tortured for the crime of resisting their own oppression. This Palestinian resistance could have come in the form of throwing rocks, organizing protests, speaking at these protests, or even just giving university lectures. During the genocide, hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza were arrested just for receiving medical attention at one of the many hospitals that Israel invaded and destroyed. But despite the mainstream media ignoring this story, the majority of the world sympathizes with Palestinian hostages over the likes of Noa Argamani and Avinatan. As polls have demonstrated, for the first time in US history, more Americans sympathize with Palestine over Israel. October 7th was tragic, not because Israel experienced blowback for its many crimes, but because it meant hundreds of thousands of Palestinians would be murdered. But what it did achieve was the complete destruction of the Zionist narrative, which Israel has spent an exorbitant amount of money and time building over the decades. They're so desperate that they have now resorted to buying TikTok and CBS, suppressing free speech, and pushing the government to arrest critics of Israel out of sheer desperation to undo the damage to their narrative. But now that the genocidal ethno-supremacist cat is out of the bag, it seems as though the damage is irreversible. Although you can definitely expect Israel to try, which I will address in my next video about the advertisements they are aggressively pushing in the media. I want to give a special thank you to Megan McQueen for supporting my work with a super thanks comment. Your support goes a long way, So thank you. Stay tuned for the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves.
Trust nothing. No law.